Hello again guys, Ron. This is for you my friend. This is going to be the start of your mallet. I'm going to start by trimming these down, the sides down. Notice when I glued it together I did glue this side dead level, flat, true, whatever you want to call it. So that gives me a good start to start trimming these down. And then I shall flush the ends up and get it on the lathe. I don't think you really need to see that, so I'm going to have to take my riving knife and guard off my saw to get through that, because it won't cut this deep, only go 90mm. So yeah, I'll bring you back when it's cut and shaped and ready to go on the lathe. Cool, see you in a bit. So here we are, we're back. I've removed as much timber as I can or dare to on my table saw, and obviously even cut the corners off just to reduce the amount of work that needs to be done on the lathe. So yeah, redrawn the thing, squared the ends up, got my centre on there for obviously the circle, duplicate that on the other end. Yeah, so we'll get it on the lathe and let's get turning. See you in a bit. Right, Ron, I've brought you back over to the lathe. That's recording right. I've got a Banksy nut on here that I've just been buggering about with, which looks like this, and you can obviously turn it down. I don't know what I was going to make with that. Perhaps Mr. Scooty, if you'd like that, to maybe go on a fire steel and cut that down for a few fire steels. I don't know how the holes are going to be for holding it and gripping it as a fire steel, but if you want that, my friend, I'll bring it along to the gathering and you can see what you can do with it, mate. It's very hard, by the way. So that's that. What we need to do is to take the drive out of there, and you can't see any of this. Let's just turn you around a bit. Down if I can. Let's just, apologies for this, Ron. So what I tend to do, now this is not by no way an instructional video, this is just how I do it. So, you know, any comments about, oh, you shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that, this is how I do it, it's not how to do it. So I've got my centre there, and again on the other side, noticing that when you transfer a centre, you always turn it for the same way, so that I know that the centre is in this top piece of wood, So drop that was onto there, into there, using a mallet. Get that as straight as possible. I've got to turn you back round now. There. Now this point here is going to be my flat piece. And I haven't got any marking implement with me. 2 seconds. So this, I know is going to be my flat, obviously from the circle on there. So let's get that on the lathe. Apologies for not being able to see any of this, mate. Some more. So that goes into there. Sorry for the filming, Ron. chuck everything away. So there we go, Ron. That's that. Now all I'm going to do to start with, set up my guard, check that it's not hitting on the tool rest anywhere, and at the right distance, pretty parallel. Okay, and you see it is unbalanced, obviously, because of this section here missing. What I do, get my big 3/4 gouge, and we will start to turn that. But before all that, health and safety, my spectacles and all that stuff. I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, got you back. This is my preferred method, air shield. Fortunately the battery's just on charge at the moment, because it just blows nice cold air in, stop it misting up, that sort of stuff. So yeah, here we go. Let's get on there, give it a go. It will be unbalanced, so it will move. I have had just a little go. Move the tool rest over slightly. And starting off at quite a slow speed, just 500 RPM. So yeah, here we go. Look. Oh. Let's just show you, Ron. So obviously you can see that it's taking more off certain parts than the other because it is unbalanced, but we are starting to see the curve in there. I've got no way of rigging this up to kind of put it anywhere, mate, really. So fortunately it's on my tripod, which is only that high. Yeah, so that won't obviously do it. So at the moment it's on my table saw. What I'll do, buddy, look at the state of me. What I'll do, mate, is keep plugging at this. Once I've got it circular, I shall bring you back. Yeah, so see you in a bit. Right, here we are, Ron. Excuse me. So we've got, you can see that on the end, we've got a circular shape with your flat spot on there. As we go, you'll notice there's a little bit of flat here, but what I will do is I'll probably turn this down as the handle part here, and this will be your headstock, the head of the mallet up there. So yeah, I just wish I could film this like from there, really, but I guess I'll need a bigger tripod. Yeah, so I'll get this marked out and do a bit more, and I'll bring you back in a bit, buddy. Right, there we go, mate. Let's set on the lathe. I'm done. Oh, let's pick that up. What I've done, mate, is from there to this line, you can just see that long. It's about 5.5 inches. That at the moment is about 6.5 inches. but bear in mind we will lose a bit off the end, unless you're not bothered about the little hole that's going to be in the top. I personally don't like them, but we'll see how it turns out. So what I'll do now is I've got the mark, go in with a parting tool down to a couple of inches, so we'll try that in there, and then we can take away the rest of this material. Yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay mate, it does look very rough at the moment, but I promise you it won't be. So I've gone in with the parting tool into here. Obviously I'm not going to go right the way down to the right depth, or to the desired depth at the moment. So I'll go in with the parting tool, take this material away with the roughing gouge, back in, take it away, back in, and obviously slowly nibble that away. I could, I guess, have cut this through on the bandsaw to cut a lot of the waste away, but I like turning, I'll be honest with you, so yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. Perhaps I will do a little bit just to prove it's me doing it, so stay tuned. I shouldn't press that then, should I? Left it rolling. Right, okay. So I've just made a wider gouge on there. Go back in with my roughing tool. Right, time for a little strop on that. The key to any turning is sharp tools, sharp tools, and the key to sharpening, in my opinion, is little and often. So if you keep it stropped well, there's less to do, or less material that you're going to be removing all the time. Obviously, yes, now and again they do need getting on a grinding wheel, that sort of thing. But I'm just going to strop this up and we'll get back to it. I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay Ronnie, we're down to our 2 inches there. Our 2 inches. It's just a figure I've come up with just to get that down, to turn that off, and then we can start putting some detail into that to see what you like for gripping the old hand. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay mate, right, we're down to 2 inches there, which is obviously a bit big. I mean, you see, I mean my hands are relatively small, but you can see the size of it. So I think there was like a little relief part in here, like a cove in there as such, so I'll put that in back in, make maybe the small bead on it, and do it so it's comfortable to the hand. My camera work is crap, I do apologise, bud. So I'll do that, then I can work on cleaning this up, flattening this out, rounding these off. Yeah, so I'll do a bit more and bring you back in a bit. I did think about doing a bit and uploading it, doing a bit, uploading it, but I think in the end we'd be here weeks, mate. So if you don't mind, I will do what I see fit and deem necessary, and then once I'm nearly there, I'll then upload this video and you can have a look, and obviously any final refinements you can let me know and we can take it from there. So yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit. Right, bud, I've kind of got a blank as such here, so I'm going to take this off a minute. And that, my friend, at the moment is what we've got. So I've just put this cove in here. It's very rough at the moment, all this needs tidying up. You see, it's quite a lump, mate. Yeah, but there's a few little knots in there, mate, but I don't think that will be detrimental to the finish of it. So what I want to do is, before I go too far on this, taking too much out the handle, I just want to give you some measurements. I'll upload this. You can let me know what you think and any refinements, obviously diameter of that as well, or whether it kind of sits in those fingers, or whether you want that bigger, sorry, that longer. I don't know how you use that, bud, so let's just give you a few dimensions. So across there we've got at the moment 6 1/4 inches there. The handle in itself is 5 1/2 at the moment. There's about 30mm, that distance there, and at the moment that diameter is 45mm. Mate, it does feel quite chunky, so I don't know how you feel about that, what diameter your other one is. And that there is 4 1/2 inches diameter there, obviously not including the flat spot. So I'll upload this, Ron, let me know, mate, and I can make any changes, adjustments. I'd rather try and fit it to your hand as opposed to mine, because I really don't want to do this and then it doesn't really fit or doesn't suit. So I'll upload this, mate, let me know, I'll see you in a bit.